our work, we've been interested in heart failure and other diseases where oxygen delivery is a problem. We can mimic that here on the mountain very quickly in healthy people by exposing them to high altitude. Studies like this one, where we have 30 people climbing a mountain, where we can accomplish the study in 10, 12 days, would probably take us a year or longer back at Mayo Clinic in the laboratory.
What we're able to do in our partnership with the Mayo Clinic is to do cutting-edge medical research into human physiology. And to do this at altitude, to create a testing laboratory at 15,800 feet, that's cutting edge.
We've been interested if a specific supplement provided by Thorne Research helps in the adaptive process, and have been focusing on really the cardiopulmonary system.
It's crazy because you have this equipment, $100,000 ultrasound machine, and it's delicate. When you realize that the porter is carrying it on his head with one hand, what can you do? You just say, okay, I'm just going to hope it gets there and it's all good. And it was great. So the systems are robust and the porters are good at what they do.
Immune power, strong power, Kilimanjaro.
So coming up here in the mountain, we're doing a lot of cardiac ultrasound, so we're imaging the heart of all the climbers we've got going with us. And our main purpose there is to see how the heart responds to acute exposure to altitude.
This study is unique because we actually studied as we acclimated, and our subjects actually did the hike from beginning to end. So I think that's going to give us some pretty novel data.
Let's face it, some of the things we were asking them to do were challenging. Making someone exercise at 4,500, 5,000 metres is a challenge. I'd have been happy with 80% of the data on the way up and down. But the fact is we've got all of the data, 27 lots of data pretty much on the way up and on the way down is just phenomenal.
While the physical altitude is important, it's really the barometric pressure that determines our physiologic altitude. If our partial pressure of oxygen in our bloodstream was typically 90 to 100, but at the summit of Kilimanjaro, up there it might be closer to 30 to 40 millimeters of mercury. So it's a substantial degree of hypoxia.
There's no gradient from feeling comfortable to feeling tired. So at that point you're really gasping for air with every step that you take.
The best things in life are the things that challenge you, the things that require effort and work. And the more you put into it, the greater that intrinsic reward is.
I think to me the porters are the most memorable part of the trip. They were so friendly, they had a positive spirit, they were funny. It was an easy connection, and that's the part I'm going to miss the most from the trip. I'm not one for singing and dancing, but those guys can rock it, for sure.
Wow.